Welcome to Mindful Standing Yoga. Perhaps we can begin in mountain pose. We're standing upright with our arms to our sides, palms slightly open. Distributing our weight evenly between both feet. Slightly bending our knees. Perhaps creating a bit of a pelvic tailbone tilt, under and up. And in this yoga practice, just noticing how your body feels, checking in on sensations. Allowing perhaps a deeper breath into our belly and extending the exhale for a few seconds. And perhaps just over the next few exhales, just softening those areas that perhaps are holding stress, activation from our day. Allowing the shoulders to drop, muscles of the face to soften. Over the next few minutes as we're practicing mindful yoga, our intention is of attention of our body, breath, and movement as we transition between poses, and movement as we hold a pose, such as we are in this mountain pose. Noticing sensations to maintain balance. Aware of our breathing. And softening those areas that can be softened. And when you're ready, perhaps moving into the full body stretch, and on an inhale, raising both arms out to your sides and then overhead with palms facing each other. Reaching towards the sky. And if it feels right for you, perhaps standing on our tippy toes, allowing that reach and stretch, noticing these sensations. And on your next exhale, just slowly allowing your arms to fall back to your side, back to your feet. And if you'd like, on the next inhale, again, raising both arms out to your sides and then up overhead with your palms facing each other. Noticing your breath. Perhaps transitioning to your toes. Stretching out our whole body, if that makes sense for your body today. And on an exhale, slowly allowing your arms to fall. noticing this movement. And sensations as they fall to your side. And regaining our mountain pose position. Noticing your breath. Softening those areas that can be softened. And now, if you're ready, let's do some side bending. And on an inhale, raising both arms overhead, perhaps locking our thumbs together. And on an exhale, bending to our right side. Stretching to the sky. And maintaining a plane as if we're in between two glass panes. Perhaps noticing the weight on your right foot. And then on an inhale, coming back with hands overhead. And on an exhale, bending over to your left side. Stretching your arms upward. Perhaps noticing the weight on the left foot. Maintaining an upright position. And when you're ready, bringing both arms back up overhead. And then on exhale, slowly allowing your arms fall to your side. Noticing the pace as your arms fall. And maintaining a mountain pose. Noticing sensations of the body. Noticing your breath. And softening those areas that can be softened. And now some shoulder rolls. Maintaining our mountain pose. Raise and lower your shoulders, circling them first forward. Noticing sensations of the body. And of the skin. And when you're ready, allowing a pause and a breath, and reversing the circle, perhaps backward. Noticing sensations. And when it feels right for you, coming back to a neutral position in mountain pose. Notice any sensations in the body. Breathing and softening. And now a neck stretch. And slowly, on an exhale, allowing your left ear to turn towards and move towards your left shoulder. Noticing sensations, and perhaps on the next in-breath, bring your head back to a neutral position, upright. And then on the exhale, allowing your right ear to move towards your right shoulder. Allowing the shoulder to maintain its position. And on an inhale, bringing your head back up to a neutral position, and perhaps playing with this exhale, stretching, inhale, head back to a neutral position, and moving back and forth at a pace that's comfortable for you. And when you're ready, just bring your head upright to a neutral position. And noticing mountain pose. Slightly bending our knees, perhaps a pelvic tilt. Noticing sensations of the body, your breath. And now a standing twist. Placing your hands on your hips. And on an exhale, with our hips continuing to face forward, twist your torso to the right, looking over your right shoulder. On an exhale, perhaps deepening the stretch to whatever's comfortable for you. And on the next inhale, bringing yourself back to a neutral position. Hands on your hips. And on exhale, begin moving and looking over to your left side. Twisting the torso, maintaining the hips, the forward position. And with each exhale, allowing the body just to stretch. And on an inhale, that bringing yourself back up, forward in a neutral position. We can do this again, and this time allowing our hips to also move along with our torso and our head to the right side on the next exhale. Noticing sensations of the body, perhaps efforts to maintain balance. And the next inhale, coming back to a neutral position. And on an exhale, allowing our head, shoulders, torso, and hips moving to the left side. Noticing our breath. Sensations of the body. And on an inhale, coming back to mountain pose. Noticing sensations of the body. Noticing our breath. And allowing our breath to soften those areas that can be softened. And now, chair pose. Gently bending our knees slightly forward. Perhaps having our hands on our thighs as we're about ready to sit down in the chair. Maintaining our balance. And if it's comfortable for you, perhaps lifting your arms up overhead to be in line with your spine. Palms facing each other. Noticing, breathing, and softening those areas that can be softened. The next in-breath, maintaining or returning back to your mountain pose. And if you like, as you exhale, again, gently bending your knees and bending slightly forward. Having your hands on your thighs if that's helpful for you. Perhaps lifting your arms up overhead in line with our spine. Palms facing each other. And breathing. Allowing our belly to expand. And when you're ready, on an in-breath, straighten your body upward, returning to mountain pose. Noticing our body and breathing and softening. A balance pose. If you're comfortable, you're welcome to hold on something. But we'll begin from our mountain pose and feeling our body balanced on each foot. And when you're ready, just slightly shifting your weight over to your left side. If you like, you can bring your arms up in the form of a T. And then slightly bending your right knee. If you like, you can certainly maintain contact with the floor with your toes. Or experiment by bringing the right knee upwards, bringing your foot off the ground. And in this position, noticing sensations of the body. Allowing your breath to be present. Softening our face. And when you're ready, bringing your right foot back to the ground. Perhaps just the toes initially. Round to the forefoot and back to the heel. Maintaining mountain pose for a breath or two. And when you're ready, just slightly shifting our weight to our right foot. Bringing our arms up, if you like, to kind of the T position to support our balance. And just notice sensations as you lift your left knee forward, allowing the heel to come off the floor. You're welcome to maintain contact with the floor with your toes. Or allow your left knee to come a bit higher as you notice sensations as you're balancing on your right foot. And when you're ready with an exhale, perhaps allowing the toes to touch the floor, noticing the transition as we move to the midfoot and then to the heel of our left foot, and then maintaining mountain pose and noticing the transition and the movement and sensations as we bring balance to both feet. Slightly bending our knees, pelvic tilt, arms to our sides. Noticing our breath. Noticing your breath. And when you're ready, noticing the transition of sitting on the floor. So slightly bending your knees a little bit more and more, bringing your hands perhaps to the floor. Whatever suits you to allow yourself to sit on the floor, both feet extended, sitting upright, lifting your chest, noticing the lack of pressure on your feet. And if you like, on an exhale, perhaps reaching forward towards the toes, slightly stretching our legs. And on an in-breath, just allowing the torso to come back to an upright position. And if you like, on another exhale, stretching towards your toes. Noticing sensations of the body, allowing the breath to be present, softening the face. And on in breath, allowing our torso to be upright. So that maybe we can perhaps try a groin stretch. So from our seated position, we want to bend our knees and bring the soles of our feet together, allowing our knees to fall out to the sides. And slowly draw our feet back towards our body, keeping them centered and bringing them as close as we can comfortably do so. Perhaps allowing our hands to touch our feet. Perhaps allowing our feet to open up as a book. Perhaps our hands can support this opening. Keeping our torso upright, noticing our breathing. Noticing sensations of the body. And when you're ready, extending both feet. And we'll try a seated twist. So keeping your left foot, bring your left foot up to the floor, bending your left leg, allowing the right leg to be straightened. We're going to turn our torso to the left, allowing our right arm to wrap around our left knee, bringing our left hand back towards the small of our back. If you'd like, you can, with an exhale, kind of continue to stretch the torso around to your left, perhaps bringing your right elbow across your left knee, deepening the stretch. And on an inhale, perhaps coming back to a neutral position, dropping the left knee to the ground. Allowing the breath to be present. And when you're ready, bending your right knee, allowing your right foot to be on the floor next to your left knee. Slowly, with an exhale, twisting our torso over to the right side. Allowing our right hand to be back, the small of our back on the floor on the mat. And allowing our left arm to hug our right knee, or if you'd like to bring your left elbow over to the right side of your right leg near the knee. Perhaps looking behind you as well. Noticing sensations. And on an in breath, Coming back to kind of a neutral position. Both legs on the stretched out in front of you. Allowing the breath to be present. And now lying down on our back. Slowly and gently moving to corpse pose. Closing our eyes. Noticing sensations of the body. Bringing some attention and awareness to these sensations as we breathe. Perhaps on the next in-breath, allowing this breath to travel down into our body, down to our toes. Perhaps on our next in-breath, allowing air to travel down into our fingertips. And with each exhale, just allowing the floor to support our body. Breathing. Noticing. And softening.